Well, hello everybody. This is the roving flood reporter. Rebel's not out, and we don't think Rebel will be out for a while. Now, we've decided to, especially for our overseas people that don't really know what's going on in Australia at the moment, we've had a cyclone. Now, that's pretty rare for us to have a cyclone down lower southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. Normally it's right up the top, a couple of thousand k's north. So it's not very often that this happens. But Cyclone Alfred decided to point itself towards Brisbane and surrounds, and we're only, say, 3.5 hours from Brisbane, aren't we, Tom?
Yes.
Yeah.
3.
About 3 hours from Brisbane. So we're quite close to the Queensland border. Now, we have a very big river system where we are in Grafton, and at the moment this is our way into Grafton. We do have another road, fortunately, so we can get into town.
Looks like the level's dropped there.
The level is dropping. We do believe that the levels have started to drop, but we're not allowed to be complacent. Now, Baxter's having a bit of a roam around in this. We're not allowed to be complacent at this point in time. This cyclone has done a lot of damage. Now, it did only go to a Category 2 though, but it has done a lot of damage up north, a hell of a lot of damage. The storm system above Brisbane, 4 hours above Brisbane, has also done a lot of damage. So this is why Rebel's not out and about, folks. And we're going to go now put the drone up, and we're going to show you what Grafton looks like in what they call a major flood. Now, they're calling this a major flood. However, it is a major flood. How can I put this?
The levee banks are 8 metres.
Yeah, the levee banks are 8 metres. Grafton has not had water come into the city itself since the 1967 flood, because they built levee banks in the 70s. Now, they have gone to the top, but they've never actually breached and gone into town. This was a worry.
Was it 22? Was it the top?
22, it went, yeah, there's been a number of cases where it's gone to the top, but it's never actually gone into the city. So the levee banks saved Grafton. There's a place called Lismore, which has been in a lot of trouble. That's an hour and a half north of us, but they're safe this time round. However, we're not to be complacent, because if the rain starts again up north in the catchment areas, it comes down. See, it's not actually the Clarence River, it's what's happening up north that's feeding into the Clarence River. A number of tributaries, you might say, isn't it, that go into the Clarence River.
Yep.
And that's where the problem lies. However, we do think we're safe. Now, we're just going to go out and get a couple of supplies. We have another way of getting into town. Do a bit of filming so we can show you just how...
I think you should get a job on the ABC.
I think I should get a job on the ABC.
Yes.
Or one of the major channels.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah, we don't want to go on the ABC, do we?
No. What's the matter?
What are you whinging
He's
about?
whinging. He's probably getting his fluff wet. He's causing me major problems at the moment because we think I've developed a bad allergy to his pet dander. The older I get, the more allergies I get, and I'm having a lot of trouble with my eyes.
All right.
But anyway, that's enough of me babbling. We're going to do a segment on Not the Ryker. So this is Not the Ryker today.
But it's interesting nonetheless.
Well, it's interesting.
Oh, the water was up to here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's falling.
Okay.
We'll get some good drone shots today.
We hope. That's
We
if
hope.
the drone doesn't get landed
Well,
in
the
river.
drone might fall in the river, Tom.
Yes.
Come on, Baxter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's some drone footage I took back on the 8th of March. It's currently the Monday the 10th, so this is Saturday, long before we thought we were going to get as much rain as we did. But the river had burst its banks here, the Clarence River. There's a little island out in the middle there which is underwater at the present. The river's not very deep here. This used to be a crossing actually. When the river was low enough you could get bullock teams across there, but a lot of people drowned doing it back in the day in the 1800s type, way back. And they ended up blowing that crossing up with explosives to stop people crossing and dying consequently. So the creeks have swollen, the river has come back up the creeks, you can see there in that foreground. The Great Dividing Range way out there in the west, and rain has been sort of pretty much on and off, not too bad where we've been. We've only had a couple of 100 mil of rain in the 3 or 4 days, whereas Dorrigo, not far south, has had over 800 mil in the same time. So, and Dorrigo, eventually the water will come down into the Clarence here via a couple of other rivers, and that's why the Clarence is starting to break its banks. And this is the next day, the Sunday, the 9th of March. The water is slightly higher here. I can tell by a couple of little trees I sort of look at as a landmark. The water's up about, I don't know, half a metre from Saturday, the day before. Still raining on and off, but as I said, there's a lot more rain further away, further up in the catchment that is causing this flooding. It's not necessarily rain that's fallen here in Grafton and its surrounds, but way up, hundreds of kilometres up the Clarence. It goes up into Queensland, the headwaters. And then 2 other rivers, major rivers, flow into the Clarence, which then feed the flooding. So if it's raining well down to the south at Dorrigo, that eventually gets down to the Clarence, and it's raining well up into the Blue Mountains. That also comes down the Man River into the Clarence, M-A-N-N River. And then the headwaters of the Clarence go right up into Queensland. So if it rains up there, we're in trouble. Now, coming here now to this morning, the Monday, the 10th, I put it up again and the water's definitely gone down here compared to the day before. So slowly but surely, if it doesn't rain too heavy up in the catchments, water will keep receding from now on and we will not have to worry about a major flood. When I say major, it's going to top the levee bank and flow into the town of Grafton itself, which is just up, there's all those little buildings up there, you can barely see it. We're about 12 kilometres northwest of Grafton. Now folks, this little clip coming up after here is of the road out of our place, and that was taken on the Saturday during some heavy rain, just flash flooding.
There's a bit of water over the road. That's not normally a creek. So we're getting a bit of rain to make this happen. But compared to other places, we've got nothing. There we go.
Folks, here we are. Now we've come into Grafton. I've got my umbrella. Now, for anyone that has seen past videos, this is the bridge this is the old bridge.
They call it the Bendy Bridge.
The Bendy Bridge. This is the railway, and up there's the cars.
Cars are up there.
Now there's people coming, damn it.
Well, we'll just
Now,
stop filming for a while.
I think, as I said, for anyone that has seen us go over the bridge before, you would have seen the Clarence. Now, I'll just get Tom to, there's a roof sticking out over there. Now, I believe that was fully submerged earlier this morning.
Why do we get these people past?
Okay.
Hang on.
Look, it's raining a lot over there. Hello. Good, thanks. Okay. That is the South Grafton Services Club.
The yellow one.
Now normally you can see a lot more grass. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah.
Now that's the sailing club over there, and you can see
We
the...
need to get a lot closer.
Okay, yeah. Folks, it's mildly windy. Now there's going to be a hell of a lot of rubbish in the water.
Maybe that water ski.
So it's really not... Yeah, this river is the best water skiing river.
Not today.
Not today, but normally one of the best and smoothest water skiing rivers. We used to water ski. We used to come down from Brisbane and water ski here.
Well, bridge needs a paintwork.
It's disgusting. That's the new bridge over there. Oh, a bit far.
New bridge over there.
Now, if you look down here, you can see that it's... That's how we always judge. Everyone judges how bad things are by that sailing club over there, which
water's
will
up-
come into view in a minute.
Water's up 5 metres. Is that right? 5 point something?
It's 5 point something and apparently falling. But we're not to be complacent.
Guess what?
What?
It's not raining.
I don't care. I don't want my camera to get wet. I'm using my umbrella. Not camera, speaker. All the fluffy bit might get wet.
Well, you wouldn't want your fluffy getting wet.
No.
We're professional. We're good at this.
That's an island over there. That's called Susan Island.
That's a big river.
And that is a haven for flying fox. I don't know whether they'll be coming out tonight. Well, if you can't be out on riding, you might as well be walking along the bridge and showing it. Now, my father lives down at Ulmarra. We've taken you there before. They were talking about evacuating the home. They're all ready to go if they have to, but hopefully they won't have to. There's lots of closures though. There's no one at school today. So Cyclone Alfred has left its mark. Raving reporter Wendy here. It's not raining, but the umbrella's up. The water is very, very dirty.
So this is the what sailing club?
This is the sailing club.
Oh, let's have a look.
Okay, now
So that roof sticking out is the top of the roof, of course.
Now, I saw a picture that they were showing that was under this morning. Now, I don't know, well, I did see the picture, so maybe it is falling.
Yep. There you go, Clarence River.
The Clarence River is a big river.
As big as my ego.
It's a beautiful river, but not at the moment.
Well, it's beautiful, it's just a bit dirty.
It's very, very dirty. There's going to be debris for weeks and weeks after this. There'll be all sorts of things floating. You don't swim in this.
Normal level.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's walk across the other side and we'll show you the other side.
The other side of life.
We've just dropped Baxter off at his girlfriend's house. so he doesn't have to do the walk with us.
He'd like to walk.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He'd pee on everything.
Yeah.
Something down.
So there's the levee. It'd have to rain a hell of a lot up north for that to go up another 3 metres, wouldn't it?
The riverbanks normally have those.
Yeah. Oh, can't we walk up that side?
Why?
Oh,
Well, that's just rude.
oh, sorry, folks. We're not allowed to walk up this side.
Road closed.
Okay. Well, we can't show you the other side. Oh, well, we can go to a few Fry Street boat ramp. We can go to a few boat ramps.
I mean, well, there's 5 metres of water up those pylons. 5 and a bit metres. Okay.
The weather is really weird across Queensland and New South Wales at the moment.
And it's a heat wave down south.
And it's a heat wave.
What temperature down there?
Well, right down south, say, down on the border of New South Wales, Victoria, we're talking close to 40 degrees. We are in autumn. It's probably hotter than normal. It's very hot out in the middle at the moment too. But yesterday up in Queensland, so 4 hours north of Brisbane, they copped an almighty storm, and I don't think it had anything to do with Cyclone Alfred. I'm not sure. I'm not a weather person, but
Are you not a meteorologist?
I'm not a meteorologist. Look, it took roofs off houses. One of the big problems that they've had, and it's happened around down at Yamba Beach a lot in Brisbane, is the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast has a lot of trees on houses, a lot of damage, power lines down everywhere.
All the beaches are washed away. I'm just going to stop for a second, let this push bike go. A lot of beach damage, erosion.
A lot of erosion. But since we can't be out riding, we just want to show you just what a Category 2 cyclone can do.
Thank you.
Getting a bit of cabin fever at home anyway. So we decided to do a bit of shopping, a few supplies. I want to buy something for my neighbour up the road, elderly, where we do a little bit of filming on their property, because she's had to put her husband, who has full-on Alzheimer's, into a home today. I want to buy her a gift or something to make her feel a little bit better. It's something that she had to do. He's not going to be very happy, that's for sure. But that's life, isn't it? I'm hoping that they don't have to evacuate where my father is, because honestly it takes him an hour to lift him off the bed. Sometimes he had another fall the other day. They found him on the floor, and his dementia's pretty bad at the moment. Yeah, this old bridge looks terrible now. I think it opened in same year as the Sydney Harbour, I think, 1932. And I think it opens. It used to open. Hang on a minute. How did it open if there's a railway line under it?
It opened as well.
Oh, it opened as well, and that was for boats. Can't have been ships.
No, steamships.
Steamships.
There's a steamship under the water here.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a big boat hole down here under the water.
Oh, right. There's a steamship under the water there. Where? I have not seen it.
It's a hole here on the bank.
A hull?
Yeah, sunk.
Okay.
It's on the bank.
On the bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's that steamship down by Susan Island.
Yeah.
And this steel came from Scotland. The steel was produced in Scotland.
It looks bloody awful though, doesn't it, this bridge? I mean,
Needs paint.
why do they not maintain these things? Now, we could have walked across the new bridge too, I suppose. But we didn't, and we're probably not going to.
All right, everybody, it was time to put Daisy up and let her have a look around to see what's going on down there. So we're currently looking roughly west out to the Great Dividing Range way in the distance. So as again, we're looking down on the Clarence River. So we have South Grafton on our left, and Grafton itself is to the right, to the north side of the river. South Grafton's on the southern side of the river. The sort of yellowy building there is the Grafton Services Club, and we sort of use that as a bit of a gauge. Water has been through that club on a number of occasions lately. It is below the levee. South Grafton can also go under quite easily, and it just depends where the rain's falling to, because you can see that water in the background on the left. That is just a floodplain that fills up, not necessarily from the river, but it can fill up from other ways too. So in the middle there's Susan Island. That's where the Flying Fox are. And then now we're swinging back around here to Grafton proper. The whole town's on a very flat, low floodplain, and they built this levee bank up along the foreshore there. Okay, there's the old bridge, and then beside it they built the new bridge. Now the old bridge they call the Bendy Bridge because the railway's straight and it goes straight through underneath all the pavement for the cars. But then to get the cars off the railway line, they had to put these bends in the end. And when there's two semi-trailers approaching each other on those bends, it turns into fun, let me tell you. So it's a lot of traffic delays on that bridge because of that. You know, when you've got buses going across, you've got to stop. Caravans, you've got to stop for them on those bends. They're very tight little bends. You can see the railway line goes straight ahead there at the other end. And then the new bridge they built, it goes under the railway. It's a lot better for heavy vehicles. Although once you get into town, you've got a tiny roundabout to negotiate. You try getting a B-double around there. So down to the south there, east, there's Elizabeth Island, there's that little triangle. There's some more floodplain on the southern side of the river. And way out there somewhere's the ocean. That's a more flooded area, lowland, that's cut the old highway. There used to be the old highway before they put in the bypass to Grafton. So there's still a lot of road closures around. That's South Grafton, sort of industrial here in the foreground, and housing out there up on the hill. So there you go, and that's about a 5.5 metre flood height at the moment. 8 metres is when it breaks the levee. So far so good. And if we don't get any more rain up in the catchments or heavy rain, we should be okay this time as well. We've dodged a bullet, you might say. the bendy bridge. You can see the railway and you can see the vehicular bit on top. And that little white thing down there is our car, and I'm heading back down to it. All right, chaps, that'll just about cover us for this bit. There's the bend. That's the opening bit. Just there is that white car's going there, and then the rest of it. All right, guys, we will see what we can find more for you across the other side.
Folks, we've just gone into Aldi just for a couple of supplies, but we come out with hardly any supplies. The shelves were stripped naked. So we'll try Woolworths. I believe their trucks have been able to get through and stock up.
You just wanted to say naked.
Can you cut that bit out, please? That's immature.
Oh, okay.
I mean it.
I won't.
No, you're silly. Very immature. Well, the birds are having... What is that?
Well, it used to be a pontoon where you walked out to do your fishing.
That was never there.
Yeah, there's a little jetty and everything here.
Oh.
Under the water.
So this is a different perspective. Earlier, the camera probably won't pick it up, but way over there, that yellowy building, this is South Grafton Club that we were filming. Now, this is the rowing club. Now, I spend a bit of time here helping out my friend. Now, where that little roller door there, that's the kitchen. And people go to that little door to get their food.
Why is it fenced off?
Well, I think it's fenced off because it's not in use at the moment, and they've got a grant to do either a new one or lots of repairs, I'm not sure. There's all the rowing boats over there to higher ground. And I mentioned a place called Susan Island, and that's the trees sticking above it. Now, that's over there is a very, very popular watering hole and food place.
Well, look at the deck now. It's right out over the water.
Yeah. Now, normally that's quite a big drop. You walk under that.
There's a boat ramp down there.
Yes. Mm.
There you go, guys. The mighty Clarence. Someone did a wee upstream and look what happened.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the best we can show you today. We're just going to go and try and get a few supplies and head home. The long way.
And edit this into some sort of resemblance of something interesting. No, that won't happen. We bid you adieu.
Bye.
Bye.
Floating down the river.